Hey guys, in this video we're going to be going over loops in Python. Alright, before we start, please subscribe to the channel and please like and comment on this video. Alright, I want to be able to help you in any way that I can and I want to see what you come up with. Alright, let's get started. So loops in Python, this is an interesting video because loops in Python are not like anything else, right? It's typically when you see a loop, it's intuitive. And same with obviously loops in Python, but the syntax is a lot different. So first thing is first is that in Python, you can loop over iterables. And what are iterables? Well, they're mainly these four: list, tuple, set, and string. And I should also add like for and while. So let me do that. Right. And then we'll do break and continue. Okay, so yeah, sorry for that. So we can iterate over lists, tuples, sets, and strings, right? And we're going to go over for and while, right? And then I want to go over the break and continue keywords. Those are important to understand when you're working with loops, okay? Let's get started. So we can iterate over a list pretty easily, right? I'm going to say, let's say cities, right? And then let me comment. So iterating over a list. Right, so we're gonna say cities equals, SF, right? New NYC, say SF, then NYC, then think of Boston, and then we will do. Let's think of another city, San Jose, right? Okay, so to iterate over a list, the thing is that I can say for city in cities, right? And then I can say print city. Now there's two things I want to emphasize to you. One is that city can pretty much be anything. The idea with city is that it's like each item in the array. All right. And we also have the keyword in, so it's like iterating over each element. All right. So for city in cities, print city. So let's do that. All right, SF, NYC, Boston, SJ, right? So that's how that works. Okay, and I also want to go over enumerate. So enumerate, and this is a cool thing. Enumerate is a reserved word. And what this does is it gives both the city and the index. So you can say idx comma city. And now you can say city. Let's say something like this, str city. Well, city's already a str. And then let's do this. IDX, my bad. And I have SF0, which is true, NYC1, which is true, Boston2, right? And yeah, so the IDX is there. Okay, so now let's go over the tuples. So same thing. Iterating over tuples. And we can honestly just switch it. So we can say, names. Like I say Adnan. I can say, James. I can say, Kevin. I can say Eric. Right, I just thought of random names off the top of my head. Okay, and then same thing, I can iterate over the names. So I can say for, we can do enumerate too, but I'm going to ignore that for now. So I'm going to say names. And then for name and names, right? So notice again, it doesn't matter what this is. It's just important that you keep the clear code guidelines and do print name, and then you remove that, and then let's ignore this for now. Oops, this, okay. All right, and what do you know? Each name is printed on the screen, right? So now that we have that, that's good, and we can do enumerate too, but I already showed you there, so it's fine. And then now let's iterate over a set. So in fact, we can really just copy this. And we can uncomment this. And we already know how to make a set, right? You just wrap it in the set keyword. So set. And then you basically just do, oh, it didn't work out. city set, cities set, or set underscore cities. Yeah. And then same thing, right? So now you see SJ, SF, Boston 1, right? Let's comment this out for now. Let's run it. SF0, SJ1, right? So we can enumerate over a set as well. And then lastly is a string. So that's also really easy, right? So str val. So we can say something like, what would I put? You know, lemonade equals lemonade. And then we can say same thing for car in lemonade, right? And then we can say, print car, right? And then I can run it. And then lemonade. All right. So that's that. Okay. So again, pretty simple. So you can iterate over these four just fine. Now, the typical example that people are looking for are like natural numbers, right? And there is a range keyword, range function that Python provides that you can use. So let's say I want to add the numbers from 1 to 6, right? So what I can do is I can say for num in range 0 to 7, right? And the 7 won't be included. That's why I did that. I can say sum. So see, sum is a reserved word, something else. Sum accumulation or something like that. Or I just call it accumulation equals 0. And then accumulation plus equals num. And then print accumulation. And then let's check it out. So see, and let me print out the others. So comment out the others. Yeah, run it. All right, so 21, right? So 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, right? That is indeed 21 if I remember right. No, it should be 15. So I think this is 6. Yeah, all right. So there we go. All right. Now what else? All right, so now the for and while. Technically I did the for, right? So we already saw the for in, like list, tuple, set, string, and also the natural numbers. So we're good with that. All right, now let's talk about the while. So the while, let's just say this is my for demo. All right. So now for the while, it's pretty much the same thing, except, it's more of that Boolean thing. So where there's a Boolean condition, that's more of what you're used to. So you can say, counter equals 0. And we can say while counter is less than 6, then we can do accumulation plus equals counter, and then counter plus equals 1, right? So that's that. And this will do the same thing. It'll accumulate the values between 0 to 5, actually. So we should do 6 here. And let's comment this out for now. And then let's print accumulation. Let's start. Oh, so it actually was 21. Okay, let me think about that. 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So it is equal to 6 times 7 over 2, which is 21. Okay, so yeah, this was actually 7 before. That was right. Okay, so sorry about that. So yeah, basically you're printing the accumulation, and the while loop is more of that Boolean type. All right, so this is more what you're used to if you're coming from other programming languages. All right, so let's see what else on the agenda. Okay, break and continue. Okay, so I really want to highlight this point. So the idea with break is that if you want to break out of a loop early, right, you can using the break keyword. So let's explore how that works. So what we can do, we can say something like, let's say you want to iterate through, you want to see a list of cities that you can travel to, but somehow you don't want to go to Boston. So we can copy, say, cities we already have. Let me just copy it here and then put it here. So cities is SF, NYC, Boston, right? And then you have like a function, BSTN checker, right, that takes in cities. And then what you do is you iterate over each city. And then somehow, if you just get unlucky and the city equals BSTN, then you break. And besides that, if you're good, then it's fine. So print. So actually, no. Since you're breaking out of the loop, it's this. So we can say something like this. BSTN contains BSTN equals true. Break. And then let's copy this, put it ahead, put false. And then we're good. So now when we say if contains BSTN, right, then we can print contains Boston, else print does not contain Boston. So then we can do command, we can paste it. Not contain Boston. All right, so then we have a BSTN checker. So we can actually run that BSTN checker. All right, and then I can paste, or I can add the cities array. So I can do cities. And then let's run that. And contains Boston because it does. Let's say I remove it. So now it does not. So what happened basically was that this if statement ran, and then this got set to true. I had a flag contains Boston. It got set to true. So then I was able to do the if else at the end, and it broke early. So that was the good part, is it didn't actually check the elements after Boston. All right. So that's how break works. Now let's go over continue, and we'll just end it there. So continue is basically, the idea with that is that if a condition is there and you just want to proceed with the iteration, you can use the continue keyword. So a good example of this is if I want to accumulate even numbers. So what I can do is, I don't need to actually copy that. I can say def accumulate evens, right? And I'll have an array. And then we'll say for num and nums. And then even though it looks cleaner if I just said, if num %2, we can also do it this way too. So if num %2 does not equal 0, meaning it's an odd number, then continue, like ignore it. Otherwise, you can just add it to a sum. So we can say ACC sum equals 0. And then we can say ACC sum plus equals num. And then we can return ACC sum. All right, and that's pretty good. So now we can do accumulate evens, print, and then we can say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can do that. And 6, right? Because we're doing 2 plus 4. Now if I had a 6 in there, what happens is now I'm doing 2 plus 4 plus 6, which is 12. So the idea is basically when the num is odd, just continue, ignore it. Like proceed with the next couple of items in the iteration. If it's not, then accumulate it. So continue is like a way that to say like just continue on, ignore this thing, like proceed. That's the way to think about it. Okay, so that's it for the items in the agenda. I commented a lot, so hopefully you coded along with me to see each item. And yeah, I do have an exercise video after this to test what you've learned. So, uh, so I can't wait to see you then. All right, bye.